All right. Welcome back to the season 3 of the Unfiltered Outsider. And yes, for those watching on YouTube, you are officially looking at my face. Welcome to the new studio. And stop staring at the background, right? For the ones listening on Spotify who feel like they have missed out on something, well, you did. You missed an exclusive pre-show of me losing an absolute reminder of my sanity over fully grown adults buying plastic garbage on TikTok Live. So, if you want to see the visual proof of our species' collective brain death, go to the YouTube. If not, well, shut up and stay here. Your ears will get the exact same beating. Now, before we start, let's address the music, the elephant in the room. Oh yeah, on April 1st I dropped Why Are People Like This as the official anthem of this podcast. And since then, you people apparently have a bizarre, almost pathetic obsession with hearing my voice rub through heavy pitch shifting and auto-tune. So, I decided to feed your sickness, and I'm making an entire album. The first single drops next week, on June 12th. It's called Two Versions of Me. Mark your calendars. Or don't. I don't care anyway. But I'm not here to promote my music, right? I'm here to talk about you. Specifically, about how ridiculous you look every single day. So, let's talk about consumerism. And don't you dare roll your eyes or thinking, oh, here he comes a boring lecture of a global economy. I don't give a shit about inflation of macroeconomics, my friend. I care about the fact that you are a brainless addict who needs to buy cardboard boxes just to fill a pulse. We have reached a point in society where you don't even buy things because you need them, or because they fit, or because they are useful. No. You buy things because you are emotionally hollow, and a screen told you to do it. Let's look at the absolute absurdity of how you spend your money. You will walk into a shop, right? Look at 2 identical bottles of shampoo, and you choose the one that is £5 more. Just because the label has a nicer font and a matte finish, Yes, you do that. You are literally financing a marketing designer's holiday because your brain is too weak to realize that the soap inside, is exactly the same generic chemical garbage, mate. And it gets worse. Because you don't just buy one. You buy multiples, You see a pair of shoes or a t-shirt, and your broken brain goes, ooh, I love this. Let me buy 3 of the exact same, one in different color. Why, mate? For what? You only have one body. I know. You are not a cartoon character who wears the same uniform every day. But you do it because the act of sweeping your car gives you that tiny, pathetic 4-second hit of dopamine before you throw it in the wardrobe, to root with the rest of your hold. You are amazing. Amazing. And let's talk about the absolute hysteria of the drop, mates. You people will set an alarm for 4 in the morning, crawl out of your warm beds, and go stand under the freezing rain for 6 hours outside a shop because some useless item drops that day. A shoe, a jacket, or a book. You will stare at the digital screen at midnight, hitting refresh like a maniac. Because a song or a album just dropped and you need to be the first one to tweet about it. And if it's a physical store, it gets an absolute war zone. Grown adults, sprinting down the aisles, clawing at each other, screaming, and shoving old ladies out the way just to grab a nice piece of merchandise from a display stand. For what, mate? To go home and feel important for what, 20 minutes? Mates, you look like starving animals fighting over scraps, Except the scraps are overpriced pieces of cotton and plastic, But it's your life. And the hoarding. Oh, my God, the hoarding. You will buy 500 books that you... come on, you know damn well that you are never going to read them. You just want them sitting on a shelf behind you, so when you have a Zoom call, people think you possess some form of intellect. Amazing. You are buying interior decoration, not literature. Even better, the vinyl trend. Oh, my friend, you will go out and buy vinyl records and CDs from your favorite pop star. What is a beautiful action, The artist appreciates it. But you collect 5 different limited edition colors of the exact same album and you don't even own a record player. Come on, mate, you don't have a CD drive anywhere in your house. You are literally buying compressed wax, and shiny plastic circles to look at them. You are paying £30 for a giant square piece of cardboard to hang on your wall because, well, you lack the personality to decorate your house with anything original. And it's the same story with your digital life, You are currently paying for 5 different streaming platforms at the same time. I know you are. Like Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Apple, whatever. You don't watch any of them. You spend 2 hours scrolling through the menus every night, getting frustrated, and then you go to sleep. But you keep paying the monthly subscription because you want to have them, just in case. Just in case one day you decide you want to watch something. You are literally financing Hollywood executives for content you ignore. It is a monthly tax of your inability to make a choice. You are amazing. And let's talk about your hobbies, right? Because every time you people decide to try something new, well, you can't just start small, right? No. If you decide you want to try painting, well, you don't buy a cheap sketch pad and a pencil, no. You go online and you buy the master kit. You buy the professional wooden easel, 40 different shades of acrylic paint, 15 premium camel hair brushes, and a canvas big enough to repaint a Sistine Chapel. Amazing. Yeah. You spend £300 on gear before you've even drawn a single straight line, And normally when that happens, you try it once, and you realize you have 0 talents, and you get frustrated. And that entire master kit goes straight into the closet to gather dust, next to the tennis racket and your unused yoga mat and your bread maker. You don't want a hobby, mate. You just want the personality that comes with buying the gear. Amazing. And let's talk about Christmas. Oh my God. The absolute peak of annual mass hysteria. We have turned a holiday into a competitive sport of buying trash, Parents are buying 25, 30 presents per person. You are practically burying your children under the mountain of plastic crap they will never play. Or maybe they will play for 20 minutes on December 25 and then ignore them for the rest of their lives, That's normal. You aren't buying them gifts because you love them. You're buying gifts to compensate for the fact that you don't want to spend time with them, or because you want to take a picture of a crowded living room to post on Instagram so, well, other miserable parents think you are successful. It's theatrical desperation, huh? But wait, it doesn't stop at Christmas, does it? Of course no. You people have found a way to turn literal biology into a corporate cash grab. Now, well, we don't just have babies. No, we have an endless multi-stage marketing campaign for a fetus. First you have a party to announce you are pregnant. Then you have a baby shower, probably. And then you have, a gender reveal party. where you burn down a forest, or shoot blue explosives into the sky just to tell the people your child has a penis. And then, well, once the kid is actually born, you start celebrating monthly birthdays. Are you fucking insane? Come on, mate. The kid is what? 4 months old? It doesn't know what the cake is, It doesn't even know it exists. But you need an excuse to buy more decorations, right? More useless tiny outfits that will fit for exactly what? 6 days? And to take more pictures for your digital validation. And the best part of these ridiculous events, my friend, are the invitations. The handless, shameless wish lists. Come on, my friend. You get invited to one of these parties and you are handed a list of demands. And it's never cheap. It's always, the premium, top-tier stroller that costs more than my first car. But the modern audacity is next level. Because now these hosts are including the price of the catering on the invitation. They are asking you to pitch in for the venue rental. They want you to fund their entire party and bring them a designer high chair. Oh, my friend, they aren't consuming their own money. They are consuming my wallet. They are holding a hostage situation with balloons. And if you don't pay up, well, you are the bad guy. It's beggars with a theme party. And my absolute favorite, of course, the brand slaves. Mate, you will literally buy something that you cannot use, that serves zero purpose in your life, simply because it has a specific logo slapped on it. You will buy a designer brick, or a luxury water bottle, or a jacket meant for Arctic exploration when the furthest you ever walk is from your sofa to the fridge. You look like a walking billboard, paying a multi-billion-dollar corporation for the privilege of advertise their products for free. You look ridiculous, my friend. You look like a clown. You are like a generation of raccoons, If it's shiny, if it's new, if a Jen or a TikToker held it for 3 seconds, you run to click add to the cart. You are drowning in clutter, Your bank account is screaming, and you are still sitting there waiting for the Amazon driver like he's a messiah. Come on. You are buying things you don't want, with money you don't have, to impress people that don't even like you. Unbelievable. It's a global pandemic of insecurity, But yes, if we are going to talk about turning this disease into an absolute national sport, well, we have to look at the birthplace of modern greed. The absolute capital of excess, where size matters because nobody has a personality to compensate for it. Yes, we need to talk about United States of America. And before we cross the Atlantic to dissect how the entire nation managed to turn brainless spending into a constitutional right, we are going to take a very quick break. But don't go anywhere. Or do. Run to Amazon to buy another useless piece of plastic to fill the void. I'll be right here, waiting to insult you again. In what? 5 seconds?
This is Unfiltered Outsider.
Right. Look at this. I travel across the Atlantic just to stand in the absolute epicenter of human exaggeration. The United States of America. Well, we have been talking about consumerism today. But this place didn't just adopt it, They engineered it. They took the simple concept of buying stuff that they have successfully exported to the rest of your impressionable little minds. Well, look at the absolute state of this society. First up, well, main character syndrome. Nobody on earth does this like Americans. You walk down the street right here, and every single person walks like there is an imaginary camera crew floating 3 feet in front of their face. They aren't just living life. They are filming a movie that nobody else bought a ticket to see. They will set up a tripod in the middle of a crowded public pavement, block actually working people from getting to their jobs, and start crying on camera because their iced matcha latte was manifested incorrectly. They genuinely believe the universe was created to serve an aesthetic backdrop for their TikTok feed. Mate, you are not the main character, right? You are a background extra in a very boring society, so calm down. Which brings us directly to their favorite sport, cancel culture. The land of the free, Unless you use a word that wasn't approved by a 20-year-old committee on Twitter 5 minutes ago. It's an entire nation of recreational victims, They spend 24 hours a day hunting through whole digital archives, desperate to find a reason to be offended on behalf of someone else. It's a competitive witch hunt, where the prize is a gold medal in moral superiority. They don't want justice. Nah. They want a digital decapitation of anyone who doesn't subscribe to their exact brand of manufacturer righteousness. They will destroy a man's entire life over a bad joke made in 2012. And then look in the mirror and think, I'm such a good person. It's not activism, It's an authoritarian power trip wrapped in a savior complex. And why are they so angry? Because they are exhausted, The American dream has been replaced by hostile culture. They have been utterly brainwashed, into believing that if you aren't working 24 hours a day, sleeping in your office and monetizing your actually bowel movements, probably you are a failure. They have grind sets, They wake up at 4 a.m. to drink raw eggs and listen to motivational podcasters, screaming at them about unlocking their inner beast. They work 3 jobs, have 0 health care, 2 days of annual leave, and they look at you at straight face and say, I'm building my empire. No, you aren't. You are building a massive coronary arrest at age 35, You are destroying your mental health to buy things you don't need, to impress people who are just as exhausted as you are. But heaven forbid you actually admit you are miserable. Because then you run directly into the brick wall of fake positivity. The American corporate smile. It is the most terrifying thing on the planet, Good vibes only. It's a national mandate here, You walk into a shop and the employee looks at you with wide and blinking eyes, showing 32 teeth, screaming, oh my God, hello, how are you today? Wonderful to see you today. Calm down, Peter Pan. I'm buying a pack of gum, You don't know me, you don't love me, and if I caught fire right now, you wouldn't waste your spit to put me out. So, calm down. But they have to do it, It's toxic optimism. They have completely weaponized therapy language to disguise their clinical depression. They don't have arguments anymore, They are protecting their peace. They don't break up with someone. They are enforcing boundaries. They aren't selfish, no. They are just living their truth. It's a linguistic circus designed to make absolute narcissism sound like a spiritual awakening, right? Come on. And all of these, the main character nonsense, the cancel culture hysteria, the burnout, the fake smiles, it all funnels into one final glorious black hole of poor greed. Because when you are a self-branding human being, my friend, you are the product. You aren't a person anymore. You are a business. You have to buy the premium Stanley Cup to match your workout gear, right? Because your workout gear matches your clean girl aesthetic, right? Which matches the luxury water bottle that costs $50, right? Come on. They don't just buy things, you know. They buy the entire prepackaged personality of digital shelf. They are the undisputed champions of excess. They invented the concept of supersize, you know, a country where a small soft drink is the size of an European bucket. They have turned the act of spending money into a constitutional right, a spiritual duty, you know, and a national identity. They are drowning in debts, smiling through the pain, shouting about freedom, while being entirely enslaved by the barcode. Amazing. You know, they are the blueprints for the global decay we see today. And the scariest part, we are copying them. But listen, my friend, I don't want you to think I'm entirely heartless, you know? I'm a fair man. Well, and even in a cultural wasteland like this, well, there is occasionally one shining beacon of absolute sanity. One person who looks at the matrix, spits on it, and speaks the absolute truth, regardless of the consequences. Which is why, starting this season, every time we visit a country, I will be handing out this. The Unfiltered Trophy of the week. Look at this thing, huh? A cheap golden hand choking a microphone. It looks exactly like a kind of budget chunk you would buy on a sketchy website to fill the void, which fits today's theme perfectly. But this isn't an Oscar or a Grammy. You know, this is for the people who actually embody what this show is about. Uninfluenced, Unpaid, Unfiltered. And for the United States of America, well, this gold-painted piece of plastic goes to a comedian named Bill Burr, specifically for what he did during a show in Philadelphia in 2006. And I know, I'm from an older generation. In a country entirely obsessed with begging for approval, validation, and digital hugs, well, this man walked onto a stage in front of 10,000 people, you know, who were bowing and throwing things at every single performer. He didn't smile. He didn't try to make friends, you know. He grabbed his microphone exactly like this, looked at the crowd, and told them that he had 11 minutes left on his contract, and that he was going to spend every single second torturing them with the truth. So, he spent 11 minutes straight insulting their city, their families, and their pathetic lives to their faces. He didn't want love, he wanted the room to understand who was holding the microphone. And by the end of it, they stood up and cheered, because they realized they had just been beaten at their own game. So, Bill, you are an American anomaly. This hand is for you. Now, get me out of this fake neon nightmare.
This is Unfiltered Outsider.
And just like that, I'm back. That was your first glimpse into the absolute madness of this third season. We ripped apart the garbage economy of your online feeds and took the little trip to the capital of global delusion. If you spend the last, I don't know how long it was. But if you spend the time feeling targeted, good. That means you recognize yourself in the mirror I just held up to your face. Come on. Go. Spend some more time thinking about why you are the way you are. And if you have an overwhelming urge to cry about it, my friend, or if you feel the desperate need to defend your plastic Hello Kitty scoops and your designer high shares, by all means, come at me. Go to the social media, look at Unfiltered, and flood the comments with your tears. I don't read them anyway, but it keeps my engagement numbers looking pretty for the algorithm, so come. Now, look ahead. Next week we are moving away from the loud, aggressive greed and we are going to dive into something much more insidious. Something quiet, comfortable, and truly depressing. We are traveling for a specific country where a national sport isn't consumerism. It's settling for less. We are going to talk about the absolute comfort in mediocrity. I'm not telling you which country is it yet, come on. But if you belong to a culture that prefers to sit back, complain about everything, and do nothing about to change it, you might want to brace yourself. That's it. That's all for today. If you actually enjoy having your brain cells reactivated for once, hit follow and subscribe. Do whatever your digital hands need to do. If you didn't like it, well, just keep scrolling, Move along. And don't look back. I really don't fucking care. Uninfluenced, Unpaid, and Unfiltered, I'm Jackman, and this is the Unfiltered Outsider.
Unfiltered outsider. Unfiltered outsider. No script, no filter. Just real, just raw. Unfiltered outsider.